ఢిల్లీ యూనివర్సిటీలో గూగుల్ CEO Sundar Pichai మాట్లాడుతున్నారు. లైవ్ లో చూద్దాం.
Risks and trying to do something you're really excited by, and if the first attempt you don't do it, you can try again, and things tend to work out in the long run.
Since you brought it up, it wasn't in a set of questions I'd worked on, but the attitude to failure in this generation is very different from mine. Mm-hmm. In my generation, to fail was to commit a crime. Mm-hmm. And yet what you're talking about is go do what you want, and there's always comebacks, aren't there?
That's right, yeah. And, I think that's how, in Silicon Valley, part of the reason so many people start up a company is, starting up a company and even having failed, you can wear it like a badge of honor, right? And I think that's important, culturally, risk is rewarded. I remember when I started working at Google, if I went and, people were discussing ideas, the other people who heard the ideas try to build on those ideas. They encourage you. So it's a culture of optimism. It's a culture of risk-taking, and I think that's really important. So,
okay, just a couple before we start taking questions from everybody. You talked about cricket, but you tweet about Barcelona.
I'm a huge, football fan as well, and I remember when I was young, waking up and driving my mom crazy because I would wake up in the middle of the night to watch World Cup soccer at that time and to watch the Brazilian team in those days, in the 80s. And, I continue to, cricket and soccer are two sports I follow. I follow actually football more now because it's easier to follow it there. And I'm a very big Barcelona and a Messi fan.
All you guys who wanted to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo don't.
I don't know whether you saw the recent El Clasico in which Barcelona won 4-0.
If there are any Real Madrid fans, they just have to keep quiet, right? You can't do anything. So Test cricket or T20, Sundar? Because he grew up in Madras, not in Chennai.
Yeah, there you go.
And Madras is as Test cricket as you can get.
I was telling Harsha just before we walked in, I was fortunate enough to go and see most of you may not remember, but in the 80s, in 1986, we had it was the second tie test, I think, between India and Australia. And I was in the stadium then, and somebody had given me tickets because they thought the match was going to be a draw. But, I always thought Test cricket was amazing. I had the time to watch it then, too. But, I followed the transition to one days very, very well. T20s, I catch it, but it was something I didn't grow up with. So, I don't enjoy it as much as I do one day or Test cricket, but it's exciting
okay,
too.
Since you're here, I'm reproducing a line somebody told me. They said, in the Google era, Test cricket is threatened.
In the Google
era. Where everything is at your fingertips, everything is moving fast, yeah.
But, some things stand the test of time, so
yes,
hopefully...
They do. I'm a big Test cricket fan anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, one last question before I throw open the questions for you. What next for Google? And I know I'm going to come back at the end to ask you that question separately too, but there's glass, there's cardboard, there's cars. Can Google make 150 kilometers an hour bowlers?
If we could do that, I would just, secretly use it to just make myself the fastest bowler in the world. I think...